Alright, alright, alright. Welcome to another one of BumpmyStump's World of Tanks Xbox One replays. We're on Abbey, platooned up with the Grey Joe. We're in our FV215s, 215Bs. And we're going to see what we can do with a team of 215Bs. Kind of sit here for a second and look at the map and try to decide a little bit about how people are going, and then Joe's like, screw it, let's just go. If we wait too long, we won't get to where we need to be. And I'm like, aight, makes sense. You know, sometimes it sucks, because you sit there and you want to, with the teams that you get sometimes, you want to make sure that they're, you know, not all going to go one way or something. But just sometimes you don't have time to do that. So it's kind of like you need to boot, scoot, and boogie and get to where you need to be, because if you don't, then you're gonna be too late and then you're screwed. So it's almost like you have to go quick, and then you find, oh shit, everyone's following me. But this wasn't so bad. You know, we had three or four tanks go down the 8 line, a couple tanks in the middle, 3 artilleries of course stayed in base. So it kind of helps that the Reds didn't push out horribly up the center, because if they'd pushed her up the center, we'd been screwed, but they didn't, so hey, bonus for us. But they already took out our light tank in the middle, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But then again, like I said, they don't push out too well, so, you know, the game doesn't end up being horrible. So we've got an E3 down there. Let's see if I can put one through his cupola. Come on. Come on. Nope. Not happening, but that's okay. We got a monster beside me that's going to push it up there, and maybe he can put one through him. Because he's hulled down behind that tank. And you see 3 shots have bounced off him already. But then he moves out. He decides to get unhulled down. I don't know if that's... I don't know why at all he would do that. He was in a decent place. But because he moved, and because Joe and the other tanks up top are pushing, maybe that's why he did it. You know, Joe and them were pushing, so he had to move to get into a better position for them, I guess. That's probably why. But that gives me the chance to zoot right down behind here. And, Object 268, how you doing? Guess what? You're doing 432 in an ammo rack worse than you were a few seconds ago. And with the reload of this tank, you're doing a lot worse than that now. And now I've took 2 shots into him, and now I can come in right behind this E3 who just got his first damage taken out of him. Take 417 out of him there. And I'm not going to back down on him. I'm coming right behind him and finish him off. So we pretty much monstered this corner, which is always good. They pushed a little bit down the 7-8 area, but we still have a couple tanks there to hold them off. So not looking too horrible. And they're gonna have to return to base because we have enough tanks going towards their cap that if there are a bunch on the 8 line or whatever, some of them are going to have to turn around, because if they're looking at the map, they see 4 tanks rolling towards their cap. Then again, they could all stay on the other side and we could cap out really quick and win. But it doesn't look like that's going to be what happens. Joe goes low, going to push in behind the tanks that are on the 7 line. Then he makes a boot scoot to the right. I guess he's going to go up the middle instead, and sure enough, there's one up the middle. So we got 3 tanks up near their base. One started to cap. Don't really know why. Maybe he's thinking that they have a lot of tanks down the other end. So I throw up a negative there, because I hate it when, you know, and I mean, we're not completely owning the game, but we're not losing either, and we're in a good position. But whatever, sit there on the cap, I guess. Dipstick. Alright, this guy's pushing out towards Joe because he thinks Joe's by himself. But guess what, buddy? There's two of us. And I was going to move up. I take his ammo rack and 430 out of him there. I was going to move up to the plateau above him, so he had to turn both ways, you know, to give him a crossfire, sort of. But there's other tanks up on the 7-8, and I didn't want to get up there where I was exposed. And right here I can side scrape and maybe eat a couple of his shots. And I just ate one of them. That's pretty good to eat an E4 shot with the side of this tank. Joe bounces off him, and I come out, put one into his lower plate. So, keeping score, I put 2 into him. He's bounced. Well, my tracks ate one of his. And at this point, it's like, meh, I'm just going to go put one into him. And I go up there, and this happens sometimes, and I don't understand it. You watch. Put one more into him right there. This is what I'm talking about right here. Joe has him almost dead. Of course, leaves him with no health. And I'm like, alright, I got him. Watch this right here. Look at... Oh, I don't know why it just went nuts. It just happens sometimes. I don't understand it. A lot of times it's when you've been hit. Or you use auto aim or something, then take it off. But... come around this corner, and this guy just puts one right into Joe and finishes him off. That was just a luck shot. Of course, Joe didn't have much health left, but still. I tried to put one into him there. Try to track him, but that didn't work either. I ran him to try to track him, but that didn't work. But we'll get him through the lower plate. So, that finishes him off. Yeah, this tank, I think this, seriously, if... everything considered equal or whatever, or this is the best tier 10 heavy in the game, I believe. It doesn't have the best armor, but the armor is no worse than the E5. I don't think it's any worse, maybe a little bit worse in certain situations than like the IS-7. I mean, the IS-7 can be good at hull down, but if you hit the IS-7 in the lower plate for the big tank, you're going to go through it. So it's the mobility of this, how quick it turns around, the turret traverse, and the reload time, all put together, definitely make up for the lack of actual armor. I mean, look at that. It's like, what, 5.5, 6 seconds reload? How can you do 400 damage and a 7-second reload? I mean, it does almost as much damage per shot as my IS-4, if not more. And the reload's twice as quick. You know, so it's like, and the accuracy and the aim time is just, you can't beat it at tier 10, I don't think. But alright, there's only one tank left, but it's a full health Death Star. So I'm telling the Clicks, whatever, to back up, because I really didn't want Death Star to one-shot him and then have enough time to reload and one-shot me. Because he can do it with 958. Even if he hits some angled armor, there's a chance he takes me out with one shot. But he hasn't one-shotted the E5 yet, so... you know, he's just poked him 3 times and only brought him down to, what, a little bit below half? So, I mean, lucky E5, unlucky Death Star, I don't know. But the E5 should have him right here, but he bounces. So I can just come around the corner and finish him off. So, you know, it was a good game overall. This tank, I don't play it enough really, because it is a really, really top-notch tier 10 tank. We end up with 38,900 silver, 4,900 XP multiplier, just shy of 4,000 damage dealt, 3757, 400 damage block. So the block damage isn't there, but you don't play it like a heavy, you play it like a medium, and it works really good. And it even works good as a sniper. I mean, if you sit back and snipe on like El Haloof or something, it works really good. I end up at the top there with 3757 with 5 kills, 1363 for base XP. Joe was in third. I ended up 2 shots for 755, took out the ammo rack and destroyed the Object 268. And took out his loader. Yeehaw! When that ammo rack blew, it probably blew the head right off the loader. Alright, you can switch to the next one. Come on. Come on. I don't know why I waited here. Usually I don't do stuff like that, but whatever. 2 shots for 537, took out the E3. The Death Star one shot for 274 took him out of the game. E4, 4 shots for 1254 took out his ammo rack. And Joe finished him off because my camera went nuts when I aimed at him that last shot. E100, 1 shot for 221 took him out of the game. E5, 2 shots for 716. So, like I said, 5 kills, 3757 for damage. Joe ended up with 2 kills with 3500 damage. I shot 18 shots, 15 hit, 12 penetrations. Again, I only blocked 400, and that was 1 for 4, so 25% of the shots were blocked. So it really wasn't, like I said, the armor isn't going to save you in this tank. But it has enough of a health pool, and you have the quickest reload, I think, of any heavy at tier 10. And the accuracy and the penetration of the gun is top notch. So it's like, the tank's just a really good tank. And the only thing that really lets it down is the armor. So, but I think the armor lets, if you're in an E5 and you have to, you sit there and you say, well, I got good turret armor, but you don't because you have a friggin' cupola on the roof that's 15 miles high, and that's where everyone just shoots you. So, it has its pluses and minuses. Overall, I think it's the best tier 10 heavy in the game. So, but that's just my opinion. As usual, comment, rate, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Tell me what I did right, tell me what I did wrong, and remember, when you're on that battlefield, shoot the red ones.